Why am I so passionate about science communication? For most of human history, people explained the world through superstition and religious doctrine, and those who dared to question that orthodoxy paid a heavy price. In fact, for centuries, the pursuit of truth was a dangerous act. Here are some examples.
Hypatia
Of Alexandria was a 4th century mathematician and philosopher in ancient Alexandria who taught astronomy and philosophy. She was murdered by a Christian mob that is believed to have been motivated by her prominence as a pagan intellectual. She is one of the earliest recorded victims of the conflict between free inquiry and religious authority. Next we have Galileo Galilei. He was placed under house arrest by the Inquisition for supporting the Copernican view that the Earth orbited the Sun. Why? Because this claim directly contradicted the teachings of the Church at the time. In the 1840s, the Hungarian physician Ignaz Semmelweis, who discovered that doctors were spreading infection by not washing their hands, was ridiculed by the medical establishment, driven to a breakdown, committed to an asylum, and sadly died there 2 weeks later from beatings by guards from the very type of infection that he had spent his career trying to prevent. And more broadly, many women with knowledge of herbs, medicine, and natural remedies were accused of witchcraft precisely because their practical understanding of the natural world was seen as threatening or supernatural. These people were not fringe thinkers or troublemakers, but early scientists whose only crime was to question, discover, and attain knowledge before the world was ready for it. And what unites all of these stories is not just the persecution, but the gap between what the evidence showed and what society was willing to accept at the time. That gap has always been a battleground. Now, we live in a remarkable time by comparison. Not only are we free to hold different belief systems without persecution, but in most societies we are actively encouraged to question and probe and change our minds in the face of evidence. But that freedom is historically rare, relatively new, and also very fragile. We see it threatened today not by inquisitions, but by misinformation, algorithmic echo chambers, and a growing distrust of expertise. The weapons are different, but the stakes are just as high. So that's why I spend my time talking about science. It isn't just about sharing facts, but about continuing a legacy of courage and curiosity that people once literally died for. Every time we make science accessible, accurate, and engaging, we honour that legacy and help to protect the conditions that make free inquiry possible.